We're back with the Fox News alert. Major U.S. cities on high alert today as a former Hamas leader declares today a global day of jihad, urging protesters to join the war against Israel.
So police from Los Angeles to New York City are stepping up security as the FBI urges the public to be vigilant. Great. I love when they tell us that. As more mass protests are planned across the nation. So here we go. They said 36,000 NYPD officers get in uniform. I don't want to hear any excuses. You got to.
If you have a vacation plan, you're not going.
Right. Come back. We should have 39,000, but that's another story.
But I love that. I think that these are the men and women that protect us, and whoever's in charge, I guess it's the commissioner that's saying this. I love that he or she is saying, who's our commissioner now, is saying, you have to come back to work.
Yeah, which is happening for good reason. When you look at these rallies and protests that occurred in Lawrence, you got a chance to see it. I mean,
I've covered a lot of rallies, a lot of protests. I was all out of the street when the Summer of Love 2020. This is the worst I've ever seen. And it is the chance. We have gone from no justice, no peace, to open jihad. This is some of the comments we found yesterday.
Where'd you go?
You went to Hunter College.
Oh, Hunter
right?
College. Why are you here today?
Free Palestine. I stand with the Palestinian people unequivocally.
I support decolonization and liberation of Palestinian people and the end of a mass genocide in the Gaza Strip.
Talking about the genocide of the kids being beheaded?
That's false. That is actually false.
When you see the kids that have been beheaded and the women that are raped, how do you feel about that?
I don't know where to start from that.
Israel is notorious for creating propaganda that sides their one-sided massacre against Palestinians.
That was already proven that didn't really happen. There was not verified.
Women did not get raped.
No. I've not seen any proof of that. If it did happen, I haven't seen it.
Like, they get attacked for no reason.
The children got attacked for no reason? The kids that were beheaded?
Beheaded? Yeah, apparently. Like, that's what
But they were Jewish kids.
Wait, Jewish kids?
The U.S. military money that goes there, $4 billion a year, should stop going to Israel to support their war crimes.
So there's two things that happened there. You have the kids that were there, that were indoctrinated, that were clueless to what was going on there. And then you had the other kids that were there that had masks, that looked like jihadists, that looked like straight up jihadists because they didn't want their identity to be shown there. And they were openly spewing rhetoric that Hamas is saying, Pete. And I had this conversation with you off air. The question is, are these people a risk to America now that are spewing this type of nonsense?
Well, I think if you're looking at what cities are doing across America today, clearly our authorities think they are. By the way, the word jihad.
Look at the size of that crowd.
That's at Columbia, different school.
Columbia Hunter,
University.
NYU.
Yep.
But this is the way our foreign policy departments, history departments, and others in universities are aligned. They're aligned against America, against Israel, anti-Zionist, anti-Jewish, pro-Palestinian, pro-Arab, pro-decolonization, which means basically code for getting rid of anything Judeo-Christian, anything of Western civilization. And they'll say that, well, jihad can mean anything. There's violent jihad, and then there's inner resistance or jihad, cultural
It might even be a breakfast cereal.
It's whatever you want it to be.
You know what I noticed about the people that you talked to? You had that one lady with the mask who is a denier. She doesn't believe that anything that we've been reporting on is happening. These women that are crying, saying, my child was taken from the music festival and we can't find her. The dad who says that, she just believes they're standing in front of the camera and they're actors and they're getting paid to say this. And then you have the guy who you were saying, what about the women, or what about the babies that were beheaded? And it sounded like he didn't know about that.
He was so confused.
Well,
He's there protesting but doesn't know the information.
Lightly educated. They didn't do any research. Yeah, I would love to see you show up with pictures. Hey, I just want to take a look at my phone. Is this fictitious? These actors?
We've seen on other campuses, though, Palestinian activists ripping those posters off the wall and saying it's not true.
Right.
I mean, it's an alternate universe.
I just want to clarify, when you see the people with the mask, the N95 mask, they're not wearing the mask for COVID. They were passing these out at the event to conceal people's identity. Because there's been some companies now saying, you know what, if we find out that you're a part of this hateful rhetoric, we're not going to hire you. So there's an effort to cover their faces, both with other masks that are N95 obviously there, and also the scarves that they're using to cover themselves. We also talked with, I'm sorry, Pete, go ahead.
No.
We also talked with some of the Jewish students there on campus. This is what one had to say.
People are definitely scared, and honestly, you could say it's for good reason when your classmates are calling for you to be killed and supporting the raping of women and the capture of Holocaust survivors and the beheading of children and of people.
So Pete, that was when they, the police gave them the flag back, because one of the Hamas protesters took the flag away, assaulted one of the girls, and they had to arrest them.
Because under the doctrine of Hamas, killing a Jew leads to glory.
Right.
So these groups are ultimately protesting for mass genocide. If they got what they wanted, it would be mass genocide of Jews.
Their God teaches them to do this?
Well, their interpretation of the Quran and the Hadith inside Islam justifies violence against infidels, which includes any Jew, any Christian, anyone who does not believe.
Non-believer.
There you go.
52 minutes after the top of the hour, heavy conversations. It's hard to, the boy you talked to, the gentleman you talked to, you could tell. It's just too much. Everything they're doing to innocent people, it's so much.